Good evening, trustees. I would like to know why trustee Romo's flag resolution is on the agenda tonight. As I stated last meeting, it's a good compromise, and since it's not on the agenda, can you please give an update for me? Thank you. After reading the agenda, I would also like to know why the resolution that former trustee Picard read at the last meeting, the resolution honoring Molly Barnes, is not on the agenda. As Mike Picard said, the resolution is, quote, simply a recognition of thanks, unquote. It was a great way to amend fences to come together. Trustee Jurgensen and Hurley, when you voted down this resolution, it was like a punch in the gut to the room, to the school. Trustee Jurgensen and Hurley, you say over and over again that you want to do what's best for the school. So how was voting down this resolution good for the school? Please explain. Trustee Jurgensen, you said you didn't like the process in which the resolution was added to the agenda. Okay, you've had a week now to fix the process, but I don't see it on the agenda. Trustees, this resolution of recognition of dedication and service of Molly and Mark should have been a no-brainer unanimous decision. I understand, Trustee Hurley and Jurgensen, that your personal and working relationship with Molly evolved. I understand that. Let us remember, though, that this resolution is in regard to Molly's 17 years of service, her body of work as a whole, much, much more than your personal time with her. Molly oversaw and maintained relationships with literally hundreds, if not thousands of students and parents, as well as staff, administrators, county officials, the list goes on and on. She has been applauded again and again, and the right thing to do when someone like this retires is to pass a simple recognition of thanks. Again, that was for the whole staff. This is specifically for Molly. Again, I understand that your working relationship with Molly had deteriorated, but I don't understand why you both couldn't have just held your noses and passed a resolution to honor her body of work, because it is her career as a whole that deserves the praise. Molly truly did great work for the school, and the resolution is to honor that. It is bigger than the personal strife between you and her. I was extremely disappointed that egos could not be put aside when it was voted down at the last meeting, and held out hope that it would be on this agenda. I'm again disappointed and just frankly bummed out that no compromise could be reached on something as straightforward and simple as a dedication of service to Molly and Mark for the time at the school. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next is Kelly Goldsmith.
There's an item missing from this agenda tonight that deserves the board's attention, and if not discussed tonight, should be added to the agenda for the next regular board meeting. It has been brought to the attention of the Sunol community via local reporting and disclosure of public records related to his home in Incline Village, Nevada, that trustee Ryan Jurgensen, for at least a period of a year from February 2023 to February 2024, was claiming primary residency in Nevada while holding a seat on the Sunol Glen Unified School District Board. SGUSD Board Bylaw 9223 indicates that a board member ceasing to be a resident of the district, per Government Code 1770, would create a vacancy by disqualifying the trustee from holding a seat as a member of the governing body. Given the legal eligibility requirements to sit on the board, and the public records indicate that trustee Jurgensen has been claiming primary residence in Nevada for an extended period of time during his tenure, I believe that this information warrants an investigation into trustee Jurgensen's eligibility to hold a seat on the governing body. An individual, of course, can claim dual residency, but only one home can be a primary residence. I would like to know who trustee Jurgensen was deceiving, the Sunol electorate or the Nevada tax authorities.
Okay, that concludes comments on the agenda. Any comments from board members?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I have one comment on this. Well, two actually. I will share, say that I share the queries by both Matt and Kelly. I think those are valid and deserve addressing, but my personal comment is that for the record, you'll see there's no agenda item for the review, discussion, and possible action to approve further updates to the Sunol Glen Unified School District Board Bylaw 9124 attorney. In light of and pursuant to the board's discussion at last week's board meeting, the board had indicated a desire to take this matter up at a later board meeting in order to allow Ryan time to engage with the district's legal counsel to understand the language of the proposed revisions to the bylaw. Yet, once again, there's nothing included in this week's agenda on this matter. As noted last week, the overall intention was merely to address the issues previously identified with the draft prepared by the district's legal counsel, as provided in the May 14th board meeting. Proposed revisions clarified when the district's legal counsel may withhold providing legal advice to the superintendent principal and or the board president, as well as cleaned up and streamlined certain discussions in the bylaw. None of this is controversial, yet once again, the board has been silenced from considering the revisions. I suppose this means that once the recall has been completed on July 2nd and a new board is constituted, you want that new board to take up the matter, which we certainly can do. But in the meantime, this once again shows the unilateral decision-making taken up by one trustee at the expense of the rest of the board. And it also demonstrates a lack of transparency and good governance that the present conservative majority of the board is continuing to maintain, which is bad for the board and bad for the Sunol community generally.
Any other comments on the agenda?
On the agenda or what they said.
We can only talk about what's on our agenda.
So we
So
can't
we can-
respond to the questions they asked?
We can privately after the meeting, but we can't.
Well, you can because it's about the agenda, so you can answer in regards to the agenda.
With regards to it being on the agenda, not yes, but not into a detailed discussion about
Correct.
that item.
Well, okay.
So it was my understanding, I mean, you came in, Mr. Picard, and spoke to all of us the night that we were considering the resolution that did in fact, praise Molly. And you had your say, and then I understand that later you, contacted Ryan and said the divisiveness should be removed, which again, we followed, and we did in fact give her, and it's true, the teachers were also on that, but we did applaud their, okay, you're gonna listen, okay. We did indeed applaud Marlene, and, we had 900 pages of Public Records Act dropped, and I only got to hear, a few of them, I got to see them. A lot of it was blacked out, but in those, it was evident that Marlene and Mr. Romo have been engaging right from the beginning of our tenure in conversation about just about everything, including getting rid of me, and that the Brown Act was broken numerous times, and there was even more serious things that could be investigated. Anyway, that it weighed in on the fact that I didn't want to, again, give her accolades for something that was not, that actually hurt us.
Okay, the note I will make